process has to be owned by the broadest number of stakeholders. It has to be viable and it has to be sustainable. For it to be sustainable, people have to see it that they have something invested in it. Failed MOA-AD was a particular experience of not having done enough consultations. And under this administration, very clear yung guidelines of the President that it has to be as transparent as possible. Of course, it cannot be completely transparent because you're undergoing negotiations. But we should have stakeholders come on board and accompany the process as far as possible.
From the government's point of view, we are very optimistic, primarily because there is a lot of political will this time and a lot of political capital. So what remains to be done is sit down with all the leaders, not only the President, but also with the legislature, and perhaps even some retired members of the Supreme Court, and generally with local government officials, to try to see whether there can be a consensus as to a proposal to bring in a very just, comprehensive, and a lasting peace in the area. I do not think that there is very much of a problem to come to a fundamental political agreement. But of course, the devil is in the details. So we will talk about the particulars of all the suggestions.
On my part, coming from a city that has twice opposed our entry into the ARMM, I really wanted to send the message across to our GRP panel, the Government of the Republic of the Philippines panel, never to sacrifice our territorial integrity and the sovereignty, learning from the lessons of the failed BJE MOA-AD. Ang eye-opener ko lang is that the inclusion of women in the peace panel on the part of the MILF, and also really to realize that whether you're MILF, whether you're a LUMAD, we are all Filipinos after all.